Okay, so what kind of situation do we have at the moment from a Cad CHF perspective? Now, on the weekly time frame, what is the situation? On the weekly, we have a market that clearly has created a nice impulse to the downside, followed by a retracement. Now, specifically, the last candle of this retracement, what did it create? It created this candle here. Now, if you remember this candle, I spoke about it also on my YouTube channel. I did a video specifically about this candle, telling to all of you that if you see a candle like this, most of the times, if you see it on the weekly specifically, most of the times the next candle will fill in the wick. And the reason for this is that if a candle has that wick, on the daily time frame, it will simply be a retracement and you expect the next continuation to the upside to start, specifically the completion of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. In this case, what we also had was a clear confluence of this previous resistance, not turn support at this area. So we definitely expected the continuation to the upside that the market has now given us. And in fact, we were able to capitalize on this nice move to the upside with students on a trade that we just closed right now. Now, for a nice 1 to 3 risk to reward. Now, what is next for Cad CHF? Now, to do this, let's back things up. Let's go back to the weekly time frame and see what kind of situation we have. Now, if we want to measure this retracement, what are we supposed to be doing? Taking our Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse. Now, if we take our Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse, what we can clearly see? We can see that the market is approaching the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement from a weekly perspective, an area from which we're supposed to see some rejection. Now, if we go down on the daily, let's keep that the box because we know that it's a very strong weekly resistance level that the market should reject to the downside. And let's go and see what we have from a daily perspective, but keeping it on chart. So let's go down on the daily time frame and see what situation we have. Now, on the daily, as we have already seen, we have a situation in which the market has created almost 5 waves: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, approaching the 0.618, from which the market should be giving us a nice retracement. What we can also notice is that at the moment the market has been creating this channel here from a support perspective, and from a resistance perspective, what the market has been creating is this channel here, meaning that at the moment what we're actually creating is a rising wedge in a weekly retracement approaching the 0.618 as a resistance that is lining up with the resistance that the channel is giving us, creating a cluster of resistance at this zone. And we also are approaching the zone with 5 waves. Now, if we go and see what we have from a COT perspective, so commitment of traders, what hedge funds are doing at the moment from a CAD perspective and what they're doing at the moment from a CHF perspective. So from a CAD perspective, what we can see is that currently we are sitting at minus 33k net positions, meaning that we have more shorts than longs, and we were coming from a situation where we had more longs, we have now obviously more shorts than longs, and we were coming from a situation where we had more longs than shorts. So at the moment, shorts are outweighing longs. In fact, we have 55k shorts and 21.8k long positions. So overall, we can expect a long-term weakness of the CAD. That obviously at the moment is gaining strength because it's a commodity currency, but we can expect a retracement in this strength. We go and see what we have from a CHF perspective, and we can see that currently we're sitting at a 8.7k net positions. So CHF has been getting stronger. However, with the last report, we don't really see some more longs opened from a CHF perspective, but we can expect, since in the long term we went from negative to positive, to see some CHF strength. Going back to our CAD CHF chart. Now, on the 4-hour time frame at the moment, is there any sign of weakness? No, everything is absolutely bullish. So we can't be looking at any shorting opportunity yet. But things might change, right? So even if at the moment there is absolutely no weakness, things might change. And we could also see a nice fake breakout. So a break to the upside and then break back down. That would actually be the best thing that the market could give us to be looking for a nice shorting opportunity. It will definitely increase the probabilities. Now, even if we don't know how things will actually develop inside of here, one thing is for sure. At the moment, everything is bullish and we absolutely cannot be looking for any shorts. But things might change. So the way in which we will be approaching Cad Chf with students is, as usual, being reactive and not predictive. If inside of this area the market will shift from a bullish market to a bearish market, and possibly also create a fake breakout, then we will be definitely monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for a move to the downside, at least to the bottom of the wedge. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.